Alrighty, so how do you feel about Trump's fourth indictment now?
I mean, it's crazy. It ain't really nothing new. It's the fourth one. It's gonna be the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10. We ready for all of them.
It's a sham. It's a shame. It's egregious. It's we're in a dictatorship. This is what they do in third world countries.
What they're doing now is taking away your vote. Who are you going to vote for next year? Which is Trump, right? That's what they're trying to do. Take away your vote.
They're trying to control the vote of masses of people.
So what do you think they're afraid of with Trump?
I think they're afraid that a lot of that stuff is going to come back to haunt him, because we know that if he gets in office, he is definitely going to get retribution.
Right here we got free Trump. Yep. Alrighty. So how do we feel about Trump's fourth indictment now? His mugshot?
It's political persecution. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense. And it's so crazy because, like, when he first ran, they were trying to impeach him before he even was president. And then when he became president, they were already talking about impeaching him. First one was off the fake piss dossier, which was a felony. I don't even know why they went through with that. And then the second one was a phone call. And then and we all know about the third. The first one was the phone call, right? Yeah. And then the dossier, the Christopher Steele thing, that didn't even go through. And then the second one we know is for J6. And then this third one, well, it was for the Mar-a-Lago raid. And everything that they're doing is just because they don't want him to lead this country. They don't want him to be the leader in the front. They want him to be they know he's not a puppet. So the one thing they're going to do is they're going to try to put him in prison, or hopefully they don't.
It's a sham. It's a shame. It's egregious. It's we're in a dictatorship. This is what they do in third world countries. We don't do this in America. It's all a hoax, just like so many other hoaxes that people have been falling for, hook, line, and sinker.
Right. A lot of people say this is obviously a political persecution.
100%. This isn't a prosecution. There's nothing to prosecute him for. It's all made up lies, fake news, propaganda, brainwashing, MK Ultra. It's gaslighting. It's all of it. This is a 100% political persecution, just like they do in third world countries.
Alrighty, so how do you feel about Trump's fourth indictment now?
I mean, it's crazy. It ain't really nothing new. It's the fourth one. It's gonna be the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10. We ready for all of them. And the reason why I say that is because he's not guilty, and right now they just messing with him. You feel me? They already know the election is close. It's right there. So, they just want to mess with him right now.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying his mugshot, he became an instant legend. What do you think?
He been a legend. He became an extra legend right after that. You feel me? So, I mean, gangster. That's all I got to say. Trump is gangster. You already see the mugshot.
So what do you think they're afraid of with Trump?
I think they're afraid that a lot of that stuff is going to come back to haunt him, because we know that if he gets in office, he is definitely going to get retribution, because he even said it in I believe a 1999 interview where he likes to get back at you. Like, he likes to do a number on you when you try to do a number on him. I mean, I don't know if he kept that same energy, but I'm pretty sure, if it's the same Trump that we've always known him being consistent, he'll do that.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people are saying it would seem halfway legitimate if they prosecuted people in the past that have done this, like Al Gore.
Oh, not only Al Gore, Stacey Abrams, Hillary Clinton, if you're talking about the denying. The difference is they're lying about the denying. Trump is telling the truth. He's not denying anything. He's telling the truth about what happened, which anyone with half a brain without ostrich syndrome and not dwelling under a rock knows the truth about. There's more than plenty of evidence that night that came in, just like there was plenty of evidence of Antifa dressing up like Trump supporters the day of J6. We saw the videos of it happening, the busloads of them coming in and changing. But again, it's the propaganda box putting out all the lies and all the manipulations and thwarting the stories. And turn off your TVs, what we call propaganda boxes. Turn them off, because you know what? The MSM has been the real virus all along, and child trafficking's been the real pandemic all along.
I'm hearing some people are saying Trump really believed inside he lost, but he's just saying he won. Does any rational person believe that Trump thinks he lost?
Repeat that question.
A lot of people are saying Trump really believes he lost.
No.
But he's just acting like he won. Does any reasonable person believe, right or wrong, that Trump thinks he lost?
Absolutely not, because he knows he won, just like the rest of us knows he won. I've been to 17 Trump rallies. Now, technically, this is my 18th. But in the last 3.5 years, from 2020 on, I've seen all the support. Pedo Joe can't even get an auditorium full if you count the cameramen and the paid agitators that show up there. It's proof is in the pudding. I mean, we have Blexit, we have Lexit, we have so many people that left their party in droves to. That was before, not even this time. This time, even way more support. The more truth that comes out, and the more he was right, and the more support he's getting, even more than the first and second time. So
I'm very upset about Trump's indictment. He's being unfairly targeted. He didn't do anything wrong. He genuinely believed, and it's the truth, that there was election fraud, and he should be free, and he should be our president because he is our rightful president.
Right. So Al Gore did basically the same thing in 2000, and he took it all the way to the Supreme Court. Well, how come he's not an insurrectionist, an overthrower, a terrorist, or even charged or indicted?
Not only Al Gore, Hillary Clinton, Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams still says that she's the governor or whatever of that state, and she's not. And hers was not valid. Trump's was valid. Trump is our president, and there's so much evidence of fraud. If you listen to the hearings, if you looked at the Dominion where they showed where it was flipped in real time, I mean, there's so much fraud. If you watch 2,000 Mules where votes were being harvested and dropped off, we should be doing the same.
Honestly, I think it's just a waste of time. I think it's just political move always by the Democrats. They have a whole bunch of people like Hillary, Crooked Hillary, Joe Biden now, all the stuff that's come out with Joe, but they don't go after them. They're just, going after Trump, which is just, like I said, ridiculous and a waste of time.
Right. I think they like having Trump around, actually, because it gets off the attention of them. Imagine if we investigated every member of Congress. Do you think we'd find stuff?
I think we would. I definitely think, honestly, on both sides, there's corruption or whatever, so we just got to find the right people from this point forward,
Alrighty, so how do we feel now about Trump's fourth indictment now?
I think it's, in a way, it helps the movement because it's shedding light on how corrupt the administration is, the current administration in the deep state. And also, but I think it's good for a movement because I think, kind of like when Biden stole the election, it gets the people more galvanized to take action themselves and take action locally and create authentic grassroots movements. So I think, in a way, Biden stealing the election, it helped the whole freedom movement. We can't be too dependent on our elected officials, whether it's Trump or governors or whatever. It kind of forces the people to, it's we the people. We are the real government. We are the government.
Alrighty, so how do we feel about Trump's is it fourth indictment now?
Well, everybody in the United States and in the world has been looking on this in regards to what they're doing to one individual who happened to be president of the United States. If you were following everything, every person who wants to be able to take and have equal rights, equal justice, and all freedom of speech is in jeopardy. That means Trump, yourself, and everybody else, no matter what your feelings are, we need to be able to take and have equal justice, equal rights for everyone. My feelings about it is very deep in terms of being able, if we let this pass, if we don't speak on it, no matter what side you lay on, this is going to be interrupting how our America and other countries, because we need to have one hope, one world for everybody to come together and be able to uplift humanity. This is your rights at stake. You need to take them back, each and every person on this planet.
So the goal is to get votes away from him, get people to get turned off by him with all these indictments. But a lot of people are starting to realize, even I'm talking to people that don't like Trump, that the federal government are using all of their powers to target one man. Do you think there's something they're afraid of with him or what? It seems kind of obvious they're after him for a reason.
They're afraid of him. And plus, at the same time, he had money. They could do whatever they want to anybody else. But when it comes to the bread, he matching them all day, every day. 2020, they was doing the same thing. You feel me? And he basically got cheated. Y'all already seen what happened. So they're going to try that again, but Trump is not playing that. You see us out here. We not playing that. So we're going to even keep a more closer eye to make sure everything is all good, because y'all going to try that again, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work at all.
Do you think it's going to backfire?
Definitely. It already did. Trump won already. He won. He won already.
Anything else?
You already know. This your rock star, Wicked Witch. Yeah.
Do you think this whole thing's going to backfire, or?
The indictments will backfire for sure, because Trump is innocent.
So Al Gore challenged the 2000 election, took it all the way up to the Supreme Court, and they're not calling him an insurrectionist or overturning the government. Do you see the hypocrisy in what they're doing to Trump, with other people have done before?
I do. Like, even in Georgia, I mean, Stacey, what's her name? Stacey Abrams or whatever. She contested the election or whatever, and nobody went after her. Nobody said that anything to her. And Hillary Clinton, even, she said that he was an illegitimate president. Biden was, not Biden, but Trump was an illegitimate president. And so nobody's said anything about them or whatever. So, it's just hypocrisy, just from the Democrats, of course.
Right, like you said, a lot of people feel like they're claiming Trump defeated the government, whatever, but actually they feel what they're doing now is taking away your vote. Who are you going to vote for next year? Which is Trump, right? That's what they're trying to do. Take away your vote.
They're trying to control the vote of masses of people by doing this. And if you can't see through this, you're not doing enough reading or insight as far as what they're actually doing. It's your rights that we're talking about here. Your rights are at stake, and you need to be able to do something about it. No matter who you vote for, you need to be able to take care of your rights and your freedom of speech, because if someone else comes along and you don't have the right to be able to take and verbalize how you feel about it based on what's happening and what's going on, you are going to be controlled, and that's the bottom line.
Right, exactly. Even the people that don't like Trump, they're taking away their right to vote against him. Do you think this is all going to backfire?
It's going to be a big backfire, big time, but there's going to be some calamity things that are going to be happening. Yes, in the end, I believe it is going to be backfire, because freedom of speech is the most important thing. That's why everybody wants to take and come to America, because we do have freedom of speech. Right or wrong, up or down, left or right, the freedom to express yourself cannot be taken away, because if you allow it to be taken away from someone else, that means you're opening for it to be taken away from you.
Yeah, I think people can see through this. He's a total target of the federal government. There's a reason they don't want him in there. He's the only president that did not send our 18-year-old kids to die in wars.
Yeah, he was the only one that didn't get us out of war and actually pulled us out of the one that the other warmongers were continuing. And there's something that a lot of people want to say about his buddy Epstein. That one picture from way back in the 1990s at Mar-a-Lago, when actually President Trump kicked him out for picking up on his 15-and-a-half-year-old employee. This is what I have to say. For decades, Epstein got away with all of this, right? For decades under everybody else. Isn't it interesting that on President Trump's watch is when it finally, the dynasty of, and I say that term loosely for him, the disgusting, egregious, vile, vulgar child trafficking he was doing and the crimes he was doing. Isn't it interesting it was on his watch that it finally got taken down along with Ghislaine Maxwell? Isn't that interesting? Think about that. Why was nobody else able to make that happen on their watch? Why was he in existence for decades prior to that? Think about it. Some things are so obvious, but they just go right over people's heads. They don't even see the obvious.
So it seems like he's getting charged and persecuted for things other politicians have done. So Al Gore challenged the 2000 election. He took it all the way to the Supreme Court. They're not saying he tried to overturn or overrun the government. They're not saying that. They didn't charge him.
Right. And it's funny because Democrats, they do that all the time. They even did that with 2016 election, and nobody got any federal indictments. Nobody got, tried in court or nothing. Nothing happened to them. It's like they have diplomatic immunity. And one of the things is that Trump is not a part of that club. He's not a part of the good old boys. So of course they're going to go after him because he's self-established, self-made, they don't like that because they're seasoned politicians who never really owned a business. They just take money from the people, like crooks, swamp rats.
There you go. Anything you want to add?
Free Trump 2024.